All right. Well, happy February the 3rd, Team Cup month. We're 3 days in. It's so exciting and several of us already on the board. So, congratulations to you guys. I know you're hustling and you're pushing, and I just love seeing that because even though, like, we share, like, in the team page every single day, like, like I'm doing in the afternoons, like, share what you did for the day. Like, I love seeing it because it's your best. And somebody that's used to, like, I even had a coach personally reach out to me today, and she was kind of like, I only did 10 invites, but this is coming from someone who doesn't even invite, period. I'm like, that's freaking amazing. You have to celebrate that. Like, don't compare what you're doing to what someone else is doing. So I was like, own that and be so dang proud because it's progress. So it's always so fun to like see that, but then us be able to kind of like feed off each other. When Amanda said yesterday she invited like 30 people, I was like, holy crap, I gotta get my crap together. I can't like let you outdo me. But it's just that fun, friendly competition to keep pushing us to work that much harder. Um, so again, I just wanted to do a quick reminder about the calls this week. I know it's a lot of calls in one week, so it's totally okay if you can't join in every single one. But tomorrow is the call with Josh. I know several of you had joined in again before. It is at 6 o'clock Central, so that'll be 7 o'clock Eastern, so an hour earlier than what this call is. And typically they do go an hour, maybe even an hour and a half. There's typically prizes at the end, cash prizes. I think I won 150 last time. My success partner just won $1,000 from him. I'm like, oh my gosh. But his just fire, his energy, like he just brings it, and it's that stuff that we need to hear that we don't always necessarily want to hear, but just to like kind of get out of our own dang way and push that much harder to achieve the goals that we've set for ourselves. So that's tomorrow. And then we're going to have our next coach happy hour sneak peek, whatever the heck you want to call it, on Sunday night. I would love to see you guys on just to have that culture, that community, that camaraderie. I want to do that once a month. It's typically going to be on the 14th, but not doing it on Valentine's Day. So here we are going to do it this week because I'd rather move it up than move it back. Especially with Team Cup month, rank advancements being a huge incentive to get those points, but it's more to it than just that. It's just super exciting, and I want that momentum to carry on into that. So just mark those two calendars. Hopefully, you can tune in. So tonight, I just really want to, and I know these past couple of weeks, I just felt it on my heart, like riding out this momentum wave. We have to continue to lean in to the why. Why are we doing the work? Why are we showing up? Why are we being a part of these calls? Why are we reaching out when really we have a to-do list that's forever long, and we can all have we have all the things, and it's easy to get overwhelmed and even bombarded with some of those things. So I just wanted to really lean into confidence and that type of thing tonight. So, you guys, I just wanted to remind you, it's just like we've always been told from the beginning of this business. If anything, we are giving too many tools, too many resources, too many trainings to where that does easily overwhelm us. But we are, on the flip side, we are very, very blessed that we're not having to recreate that wheel any of that. Like, we have the videos we can turn around and share. We have graphics that we can just turn around and share, that we're not wasting our time or energy trying to create, because that's not my strong suit. I love to do it, but I suck at it, so it takes me too much time. And I don't want to have to spend that extra time away from my family. If I'm working on this business, I got to do the things that I can only do. And like, I'm grateful to utilize those tools and resources. So we just have to know, like, those tools and resources, they're there. We have a loaded tool belt, but it means nothing if we do nothing with them. So we have to put in the work with the tools that we've been given and graciously blessed with. And that's why it just kind of goes into, and you've probably heard it, I think we've said it on calls, but um inaction is what breeds that self-doubt and that fear. Whereas on the flip side, action is what breeds the confidence and the belief that we all desire. um it's just like we can show up on these calls, which I'm so grateful for us all to get to be together. We do it once a week, and we can get our fire lit, and like tomorrow night, and just absorb all the things, have all the notebooks, and take all the calls. But at the end of the day, if we just soak it all in, and then we're not letting it flow through us and implementing that stuff, it means nothing at all. So it all comes down to taking action and being willing to get messy. Like, the biggest thing I've told our new coaches now: learn one thing, implement. learn one thing, implement. Because if we're just trying to soak in all the things, all the things, all the things, and then we're just overwhelmed the heck out and we don't even know where to freaking start. So it's just like do one thing, be willing to get messy with it, and stop overthinking all the crap. Um, I've said on many a calls before, like when I started, it was at a pure place of just major insecurities, desperation, and I had zero self-confidence. I lived my entire life just being that people pleaser, and I still am. I'm not a big like confrontation. I'm very much a tough love, and I'm grown in that area because I'm like, heck yeah, that's what I need. But I don't like confrontation. I don't know. Nobody really likes people. I don't know. I say nobody. Jordan loves the crap. Like he'll debate you all day. Like he wants to like prove somebody wrong. Um, but I knew, even coming from that dark place, like, my fear of remaining the same was way greater than like the fear of rejection and ridicule, or just fear of failure in general. And that's what allowed me to push through those hard times and fail forward. And I'm gonna have to dig it back up if I've never showed y'all. Like when I first did my coming out post, it's a complete joke, looking like a billboard. But the quickest way I say all that to acquire that self confidence is to face those fears head on, and is doing the thing that typically scares us the most that we're going to grow from. Like, we're never going to overcome that self doubt and that fear if we don't take those scary steps. It's just like we say every single day, we beat it like a dead horse, but do we really understand what that means? Like, success does not come from our comfort zones. But the only way we're going to grow inwardly, and that's going to share outwardly, is to make sure we're doing the things and able to grow and fail forward through that. What is like the only cuss word that there should be, or like bad word that there should be, is like the word or. Or it's like we have this mentality that it has to be a this or that type thing, where that could not be farther from the truth. There is an and to every single thing we do. Everything is figure outable, everything is duplicatable. So just because we've had past failures or we have these current fears, that does not dictate to where we're going from here. But here's the whole solution that I wanted to make sure that we really grasp, because this is the problem, is that we only do like one or two of the parts. We never put all three together. It's celebrating what we have achieved while enjoying and loving the heck out of where we are right here in this second, in this moment, which is, I think, is the part that's missed the most, while pushing and working and striving for more. I think it's that, it's that hustle and that grace and give it, just putting it all together where we really struggle. We either let those past failures limit us from dreaming big and be like, oh, well, it's just not meant to be. Oh, well, she's got it better off than me. She's got a bigger following, blah, blah, blah. We can come up with all these crap excuses in our heads to let us limit us, or, we don't utilize the tools and where we came from to keep us moving forward. And it just really allows us to really gut check and ask ourselves, when we're making these big decisions, like, where am I coming from? Am I coming from a place of insecurity? Am I thinking in that or mindset? Or am I going into that and mindset? Because going from or to and is going from that scarcity to that place of abundance. And it's just a simple mental shift, but we make it so much harder than it has to be. We put ourselves in that box, like it does have to be a this or that type thing. Whereas we have to know, like, let's learn from what we've been through and push us for that reward and grow, those growing pains, as we call it. So, what state of mind are you living in when you're making those decisions? When you're like, oh, do I really want to reach out to her? She already looks like she's got all her crap together. Or do I want to make that post that's really uncomfortable? I don't know if I want people to know that. And we really have to ask ourselves, is it from that worst place, that scarcity mindset, or pushing yourself and being vulnerable and knowing, like, I do have that story, even though if I do feel like what we talked about last week, that girl next door that's super vanilla, like, how can my story directly impact somebody else that's going through the same thing? But because we have to know, like, it's when we put ourselves out there, that's the only way we're gonna be able to breathe a little bit deeper. We're gonna get a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confident in doing that. And when we do that, confidence becomes our superpower, you guys. But I think we get confidence super twisted sometimes. Confidence is not thinking, oh, everybody likes me. Confidence is thinking, I don't give a crap if you like me or not. I'm going to be here and be true to who I am, and I'm going to hold my head high no matter what. So if you don't like me, that's okay. I maybe not be everybody's cup of tea or coffee or wine or whatever it is you want to drink. And that is okay, because no matter what we do, I don't know if you guys have realized it, but I've lived my entire life trying to please people, and you still will never be good enough for some people. And that's just the hard honest truth. So why are we going to constantly try to please everyone else and put our own harmony and like well-being and what it is we truly want in jeopardy, and put ourselves in that deep dark hole when we can just have that fulfillment in that ultimate peace and purpose when we're just being true to who we are, and then we're best able to connect with those who we can relate to on a personal level, and then we're all just growing together. And then we don't care so much about the haters and the naysayers, because they're out there. We all know it, being on social media. um Confidence is not consent, unless you give it to them. Confidence isn't thinking that you're better than anybody, but is also not thinking that you're less than. It's just having the confidence not to compare yourself to the girl next door. Oh, because her graphics are so much prettier. Oh, her story is so much more compelling. She has a massive weight loss, or she's got her following. Oh my gosh, look at the engagement on her posts. We get so caught up in like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Well, she just got it better than me. And we just get in that mean girl mentality when we just have to stop. We know that comparison is the thief of our own joy. So just knowing what confidence is and keeping it within those boundaries. But then how do we constantly refill that cup, you guys? And that is PD, leaning into each other, but it's a constant, like literally on the tracker that I do now with the Josh Coates. Every single day, I have to check off the box. Did I rewrite my mission statement? Did I read over my goals for that day? And then did I finish my day reading back over those trust affirmations, that trusting that what I did and how I showed up today was enough? So just being intentional every single day. Where is my focus lying? And is it in the right place? Or am I letting people, am I giving them my consent to come in and steal my joy? Or am I dictating where I'm focusing, and I'm staying confident, I'm staying tunnel vision, I'm staying in my lane because I'm here for a purpose and a plan, and I'm going to keep doing that and being true to who I am, no matter how that looks. So just constantly pouring into that cup. And then that is when we pour into others from that overflow. We all know your vibe attracts your tribe. And I think as coaches, a lot of times we struggle the most with like sharing the upswing. Like we need to share like those struggles, but how we're like climbing, how we're fighting through that. There's a way to share those struggles while being positive and putting that spin on it and be like, here, I'm still learning, I'm failing forward every dang day. But hey, if this inspires you to know that I'm struggling, because it does, because people want to know that they're not alone, because the world is hurting, it's a lonely, it's a desperate place, and that the people need us now more than ever, specifically you, for what your story and turning your mess into your message. You are impacting someone, so you just have to take that lid off and let that word out. So your energy is everything on who you bring in. And until you're pouring into your cup and you're being, active and just sharing that and being consistent in your story, then that's the people that you're going to attract. I feel like for the longest time in my business, I was like, holy crap, I feel like I'm a counselor. Like it was so draining, because I have that history. I'm a very anxious heart type person, and I have that history of anxiety and depression. Um, we have to be careful in sharing that part of our story, just to know that people, it's still a real thing. Hey, again, even more now than ever. If y'all looked at any of the statistics, if anything compared to all this COVID stuff, and I know y'all know that because y'all been doing the Bell Let's Talk thing, talking about the mental health awareness. So just putting a positive twist on that and be like, I am here for you. We are in this together, and we are better together for it. So it's just knowing, like sharing that upswing, like I get you, I feel you. Going back to the feel, felt, found that we've all heard about, or maybe if you hadn't been along here a long time, but I totally understand how you feel. I have been there. That's part of my story, but this is what I've learned along the way. And so you're sharing that relatable part of your story, what you've learned through it, and how you're growing. going through it. And that's how we bring people in and relate to them. So you reap what you sow, and what you seek, you will find. I know we hear those things and say those things all the time, but I can guarantee you right now, every single one of us as coaches, because we have that helper heart mentality. We want to better ourselves because we obviously know the importance. It keeps our sanity in check, or whatever need that may be. But here's what I personally know to be true is like our biggest failure, every single one of us, on why we're not constantly sharing those vulnerable sparks of our story, or just not being consistent in general, is the fear of someone will not like us. It's like we think somebody will think that, well, more so that we don't care. We think that they will be like, oh, you're just doing it for the money. You're just doing it for the numbers game. Oh, you don't really care about me, blah, 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 blah. We have to bless and release that crap, you guys. We have to know, you have to know, like, you were in this for the right reasons. But then you have to also set your boundaries for yourself. This is coming from, y'all know I'm a recovering workaholic, to set those boundaries, to be like, this is my business, and I do this so that I can be more present for my family who needs me. So you don't have to be there glued to your phone 24/7 answering all the questions 24/7. That is not what we're here to do. You have to set those boundaries up front, and then when you do, those people are going to respect you more for it. Because I have. Thank God it was years ago, but I'll never forget. It cut me like a knife when a girl told me, like, it was all about the money. And, no, as competitive and go getterish as I am, like, I have a huge heart and I wear it on my sleeve. So I was like, it's not the case at all. But we have to know that too, we can allow it, to make ourselves feel less than, and that take a dagger on that confidence that we're trying to grow and trying to constantly build. But that is something they are dealing with internally, you guys. And we can just continue to be there, encourage and uplift them through that. Of course, again, you have to protect your boundaries so that you're not letting that light be sucked out of you into that negativity, but it is them dealing with their own insecurities, or whatever it is that they're not willing, or they're just lashing out on you, and we just get to be the lucky people to take that, I guess. But without that confidence, we're never going to be consistent, you guys. And consistency in and of itself is simply doing the right things over and over. It's not just doing random things, but the right things. It has to be a matter of focus and tunnel vision. It has to be that focused hustle is what wins, you guys. So, like, we've heard it, like lawyers and moms and people working 3 and 4 jobs. It's like stupid, crazy, busy, and they are rocking the heck out of this business. And they probably are spending an hour a day, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, but they're not worried about, you know, putting 30 stories up, or uh, crafting some beautiful picture. They're just showing up and they're sharing their heart. They're like, I'm on this journey. Do you want to join me? And just doing those IPAs, those income producing activities that are really going to propel them forward, and not getting all caught up in the little things in the rat race of, oh my gosh, I've got to engage, 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 engage. And then, which those are important things too. And if we have extra time for them, then by all means, please do it. But if you only have 30 minutes to an hour a day, like, utilize that time, and then lay your head down at night and trust the process, and knowing that what you did was right. Because it all comes, like I said, that focused hustle wins. It's that intensity, that passion behind it. It has to come from a place of the heart, because people are going to know whether you're texting it, you're voice messaging them, whatever. They can feel your energy no matter what. Like, when people used to respond to me and they wouldn't even use that, like nothing kills me worse. First, for one, don't spell my name wrong because it's right there in your face. But two, like, somebody's like, hey, and there's no caps, there's no exclamation, there's no emoji, and I'm like, are you even excited to talk to me? Like, you could just get that feeling when somebody's even texting. So it comes from that intensity, from that heart. Sharing is caring, you guys, because we have to know, like, if we're just reaching out and we hate doing what we're doing and we just feel so icky and spammy, we just need to stop in our tracks. because then we have to like take a deep breath and be like, I need to dive into my own health journey, into my own mindset, into my own personal development. Why am I here? Why did I say yes to this in the first place? Because if we're not doing it from the right heart and the right mindset, then people are going to know, and it's not going to feel right and authentic and genuine to us. We're not going to be excited. So that's what it does. And that's why we actually mentioned on the last call, like when we get off track in our own journey, like that has to be our first focus first and foremost. And then we can best pour from that overflow. Um, like Jordan sharing her freaking amazing transformation today. It's incredible. So it just does. It has to start with us. Um, there's a big difference, you guys, between heart and feelings. As women, I know, like I will admit, I'm a very emotional, full of estrogen type of woman. Like me, that's why like we need women. Like Jordan, my husband Jordan will never understand me, but like, well, he does because we've been together for so long, and he just like shrugs me off, and I'm like, dude, you gotta go, you gotta give me a break, like something. Um, wine is my outlet, it keeps me sane, whatever that looks like. But we have to constantly remove some of those feelings from it, because it is so easy to get so emotionally involved and then take things so personal, and nobody wins when we do that, you guys. So we just have to set that boundary and guard our heart, and knowing that there is a difference in sharing and caring and loving and being passionate and fulfilling a purpose and living that out loud while guarding our emotions and keeping that out of it. Because the end goal is for not it's not about us, you guys. It's not for us to feel good. It is to help other humans know what's possible for them too, so that we can do this thing together and be so much stronger for it. Like that's the beauty of it. I was actually on a call again today with Josh, and he was talking about could be in this for years and years and years and never earn a single dollar, but if we helped a million people, like that is so invigorating. That is what it's about. But what we can't live with is that when we don't earn a single dollar and we don't help a single person either. So we have to, when we get so caught up in that sales mentality mindset, like we have to take it back and know, like, I am providing value to help this person. And like we have to know, and that just comes back to like he actually gave a good stat today, just talking about when we're sharing like our post in our grid in our actual feed, like he gave like a 3 to 1. So every 3 posts is just giving value, however, whatever you excel at and whatever you've learned, and a recipe or just tips and tricks to best help people, or just motivation in general. And then every 3 to 1 is that call to action that you can then share after that. Worth, talking about worth. Uh, this was such a struggle to me, and people that meet me now, they don't understand, and it is eye opening to me. Like people need to know what I've overcome to get to where I am, because it's a dagger and it's hard, and so many people are dealing with that in this place and time. It's truly such a struggle. Um, and this really cut me deep when I heard this. Um, what are we constantly telling our kids, you guys? Like, man, it's funny because just yesterday, my oldest son, he got his papers that he's got to turn in for middle school, and he's got to select the classes that he wants. Well, there's a class on there, gate or something like that, that you have to be like you have to qualify for. So it's like for the gifted, for the, the really, really smart kids. And he's like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And I'm like, okay, well, I can find out. I'll message your teacher. And like they say in second grade, you have to get tested for this. And she's like, but we can start the process. It's just a long 6 to 8 week process. And like I was, talking to Jordan, I was like, he wants to do this. And then, like, what are we telling our kids? If your kids come to that, heck yeah, go for it. Chase your dreams, fight hard, give it a shot. Do you, like, you are capable of anything you set your heart and your mind to, right? We're going to pour that unwavering, unshakable belief in them, because we want the absolute best for them. But what does that mean when we're coming at them, telling them things, yet our actions are a complete different story. Which one do you think they're going to catch on to? Because our actions is what really speaks what's going on in our heart, not what we say, is how we're acting. So if we wouldn't tell our kids and those that we love, like, oh, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not dressed up enough today, you should not post that picture looking like a hot mess. Whatever it is that we talk to ourselves in the mean girl headspace that we have to stop. Like, I'm a full believer in equality, you know? Like, nobody is better than anybody. Like, we're all here for a purpose. Yes, we all have our own strengths and weaknesses, but we all fall short in some way. Like, nobody's perfect. Nobody's got all their crap together, no matter what they portray themselves to be. So, like, when I say equality, that means all humans, including you, including me. And we so oftentimes we neglect ourselves from that equation. So just something to think about. Like that really did cut me deep in like where are we living from? What place are our thoughts and our action? Is it coming from our head or from our heart? Because really our head takes up half of our brain power, takes up half, cuts in half our productivity because we're constantly trying to like navigate and tell ourselves that we are good enough. Like, whereas if we would just tell our headspace to just shut up, whatever we have to do, we're constantly pouring in that belief and that positive, reinforcement and reading those affirmations to ourselves every dang day out loud, staring at ourselves in the mirror, as ridiculous and silly as that may sound, like we have to come from that place of quiet. We have to dwell in those quiet places, which is our heart, because that's where our passion and our purpose lies. And then we can get rid of those emotions and not come from those places of those insecurities, the depths, and the fears. So we just have to show them. We have to show our kids, our family, our teams, our followers, like who we truly authentically are. And then our worth, our confidence is going to pour from that. Just like she talked about last week on the National Wake Up Call, confidence isn't a graphic. It's not, in a certain type of content. It is you pouring from your heart and being real and sharing that. Um, and just like food for thought. And I would love for you. I know we got like 7 minutes left. Like you can even unmute yourself or say in the chat, but like, what are you here for? Like whatever. Like I'm very, faith based and spiritual in that. And what? So your creator. What does your creator say about you? Like it's something that we really have to ask ourselves and like know deep down. And I think it would be like really good for us to like share that and know like we are worthy, we are capable, we are one of a kind, we are beautiful from the inside out. We have to tell ourselves these things every single day until it becomes like real to us and actually means something. We are strong, we are created on purpose for a purpose. We are unstoppable. Like anything, we just have to know because if we don't have any of that, you guys, nothing else will ever matter. And I think, and this extends even past the business. Like we want to instill that belief and that confidence into our kids. I do not like that's one thing I deal with so much right now because it wasn't until I was probably 25 years old that I ever really started to learn to love myself. I was always doing things just to please others, and it just leads you to the worst place emotionally. It's not good for anybody, and there's so much more to life. We were made for more, and we have to know that and lead from that place. And so just know that you are capable, you are loved, you are worthy. And like if you feel stuck, like you know, being stuck is not a place, you guys. Like get back to the foundation. Get back to why you started, why you said yes, and something I've heard is like, what is a good book or something that gets you back into that headspace that gets you excited again? Like, what was it in the very beginning that just gave you all those like goosebumps and those jitters? Like, go back to that, take it back. It's easy to lose focus on that and feeling overwhelmed with all the things. But again, just creating those time blocks, learning new things while building on the old things. So that is all I got, you guys. Just know that when you're looking through those lenses lenses is how you say it? Lenses of glasses, of like self-doubt and fear, you're never gonna be able to find the solution that you want. Like, we have to, like, flip that up and, like, know, like, I am confident and I'm worthy and capable, and then we're unstoppable. So that's what I got from that. I just really wanted to pour into you guys tonight because it's being in this industry, just being a freaking woman full of emotions and the comparison trap. It's so easy to lose sight of that and just forget why we're here, and then just get caught in the headspace. Well, I'm tired, or I don't feel like it, or I'm not motivated. Which motivated we talked about as a gimmick. It's, fake or BS or whatever you want to call it. It comes and goes anyways. So we're already, that's not a good thing to rely on that. But when we lean into each other, it's a beautiful thing of what we can and will do. So that's all I got. We got 4 minutes left. Do y'all have anything